Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today's reaction, really bad news for Cardi B. Ooh, what did she do? I'm wondering. Let's get it.
This crash out was accidentally leaked, seemingly by the mole and a rat in Cardi B's camp. The funny part about this Cardi B crash out, it was directed at Ice Spice.
Yo, deadass. What happened to Ice Spice? Nah, that's a legit question though, because I completely forgot about her until this video just came up. I mean, it's been months now since I haven't heard anything about her. Like, what's the deal? Because I know she was on Ozempic. Is she in the hospital getting herself fixed up or what? Because I heard Ozempic is getting how do I say it, sued. I mean, what a surprise! Because I heard some of the ingredient requires snake poisoning. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, girls were using snake poison to thin themselves. But the Muslims are the ones that are oppressed. Anyway, let's continue.
But Cardi B was going so crazy that she dissed everybody. And now she's somewhat involved in some type of controversy with everybody now because in an attempt to scare Ice Spice, she called out other names in this rant. And now the fan bases of those people are calling them out to diss Cardi B.
I'm gonna beat her the up. I'm gonna knock her the out.
I don't care what y'all say. Y'all can never get me to hate Cardi B, bro. I would never hate Cardi B.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Look, Cardi B's character, I have no problem with it. The only thing I have a problem with is the image that she put out there. That's my problem. I don't care if she's loud and shit like that. That doesn't affect me. But if you're a woman who is pregnant and have kid on the side, the last thing you want to do is be wearing skin tight clothes that'll see through and we can literally make out the nipples. And on top of that, you got millions of people watching you and you want to go ahead and shake your ass in front of everybody while being pregnant. Now you make sense of that.
That's Cardi B crashing out on the phone with Ice Spice manager James Roseman, who, by the way, just happens to be the son of Jimmy Henchman, one of the most feared gangsters in New York history, who's in jail right now for multiple bodies. So the fact that Cardi B is still popping it to him tells you what Cardi B is about. But Cardi B is crashing out on Ice Spice and threatening to beat up Ice Spice, and Ice Spice's boyfriend will get beat up by her man at the time, which is Offset. That's because Cardi B is upset at the song that Ice Spice had on her EP she dropped last year called BB Belt.
This one is built like an ant. Ew. Crash house and they going on rants. Cash cow, I be getting them bands. And I'm thick cause I don't miss a meal. And I'm thick but I don't got a waist. Think she pretty but changing her face. Falling behind like pick up your pace. It was funny till I took her place. Her man calling but I be like, who this? I'm a switch. I really do this. Light skin, but I'm black. You can tell by my hair.
That was a Cardi B diss. The world knew that was a Cardi B diss. Cardi B knew that was a Cardi B diss from the second that Cardi B heard that
I just have something to say about that music, but I'm just gonna go ahead and let it slide. You know, I'm gonna hold my tongue on this one.
song. That was Ice Spice throwing jabs at Cardi B and letting the world know they're no longer cool, or for whatever reason, they're not getting along. You might say, Flacco, like the bars are generic, bro. Like the disses are generics. Yeah, but that last line when she says, I'm black, I'm light skinned, you can tell by my hair. That's how we knew it was a Cardi B diss. And that's how we knew that was a directed at Cardi B and not the other girl she's currently beefing with. Cardi B has gotten called out multiple times for referring to herself as light skinned. One person right here told her, who the F told Cardi B she's light skinned? That term is used for lighter complexion black folks, but y'all got everyday people claiming it. Cardi B responded back, Dominicans are so diverse when it comes to skin color, dark brown, tan, light white. So what am I supposed to say when I'm describing my complexion? I'm Dominican skin. She responded back,
Like, I don't understand why it's so hard for black women to, just call themselves black. What's wrong with being black? What's wrong with being black? Black is the most beautiful color on a person that, well, I wouldn't say black, brown, because let's be honest. This is black. If I put my arm on it, you can tell the difference. That's black. This is brown. But what's wrong with being called brown? What's wrong with that? Nothing. You get what I'm saying? You want to be considered as a light skin? Why? Because I guarantee you, on your birth certificate, you are labeled as black. They don't give a damn if you're light skinned.
to another person who says, what you're saying is automatically invalid. The fact that you use whites Whites is a color and a race. Dominicans are a nationality with people that are different colors and shades, not a race. Get your glitter hole out of here with this fake rule you just came up with. That was in response to somebody saying, I don't know, maybe y'all need to come up with your own terms. Light skinned is used to describe black people, not whites. Dominicans, Mexicans, Asians.
You know what's crazy? When a light skinned person commits a crime, they're still labeled as black. So it don't matter. You can call yourself light skin, brown skin. Well, not brown skin. You know, you can call yourself white, light skin on your birth certificate or whatever information the government's got. That's what they're gonna label you as. I guarantee you, if I go and search up right now, what's Cardi B's you know, what's her ethnicity? They're just gonna say she's black.
Asians, but blacks. You can't just use the word to mean whatever you want it to mean. As strange as it may sound, this conversation was actually the first time that Cardi B and Ice Spice got into it publicly. This was the beginning of their feud and their beef. Cardi B was on Twitter defending her blackness or defending her right to call herself an Afro-Latina, and she was responding back to an influencer called Raymonte. This is a couple messages into the exchange, but Raymonte initially called Cardi B Hispanic, says she's not Afro-Latina. You know, he don't care what her hair texture is. She's not black. And he would actually, you know, like compare her to other people. Well, Cardi B would get at Raymonte and tell him, hey, stop bringing up other women, while at the same time asking Raymonte why he don't call Ice Spice black. So Raymonte responded back and he says, you saying I'm using other women when me and you had our talk months ago. You said, why don't I call Ice Spice a Mexican? You bring up other people, not me. I'm not bringing in any other women in this. I think y'all are great. It wasn't to offend or hurt you in any shape or form. Cardi B responded back and she says, same reason why you felt comfortable calling me a Mexican when I'm Dominican. And I asked you why you feel comfortable calling me a Mexican when Ice Spice and Jarrell Jerome and Zoe Saldana are Dominicans, and you don't do that to them. You do it to me because you know that's what people use to hurt me. Same way as you use my name in that video, knowing exactly what you're doing. Well, Ice Spice didn't appreciate Cardi B bringing her into this because Ice Spice herself be fighting for her blackness. And Ice Spice has even called herself Nigerian at some point.
Oh,
In response to Cardi B, Ice Spice says, no offense, Barty.
Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, they only use black or white when it benefits them the most. As soon as black becomes popular, boom, that identifies black. As soon as white become popular, boom, they're light skinned. In case you haven't noticed that a lot of them, you know, rappers, female mostly, haven't you noticed that they're really light skinned? Because, you know, it's easy for them to just go back and forth. And on top of that, well, the people who promote them, you know, they want to make sure that they're able to deal with two races at the same time. So if it's popular for them to be considered as black, that's what they're going to tell them to do. Like, hey, by the way, we want you to consider yourself as black. Make sure you talk about that. If it's, you know, beneficial for them to consider themselves as white, they're going to say, hey, we want you to consider yourself as light skin. You don't really see a lot of dark skinned girl in the rap game. It's mostly light skinned girl in the rap game.
It's because I have a Dominican parent and a black one. That's why they don't call me Mexican, because I'm black. Like, I have a black dad and a Dominican mom. I'm not fully Dominican or Trinidadian like you are. Well, Cardi B didn't like this, okay? Cardi B responded back and threw a tad bit of shade. And if you aren't wise enough, you would think this was a pleasant exchange. Cardi B responded back to Ice Spice and she says, I think there might be some confusion on what was said. I asked why he feels so comfortable calling me Mexican. I have no Mexican parents. My mom is Trini. She came out of a whole black woman. My father is Dominican. I'm Dominican just like you. I also use other Dominicans as an example because, as you should know, a lot of times we get clustered into one because of the language. Also, can you send me that pic you took of me with your camera from Vanity Fair? Thank you. Now, Cardi B bringing up the fact that Ice Spice took a photo of them together with her camera is Cardi is Cardi bringing up the fact that Ice Spice was fanned out when she seen me. Ice Spice wanted a picture with me, and essentially saying, hey, you was just fanned out a few minutes ago. Now you on Twitter doing this or responding back to me, which I think was a tad bit unfair because I don't feel like Ice Spice was rude. I just feel like Ice Spice was like, hey, hold on, man. You fight your own battle. I already get attacked for my blackness, bro. Don't bring me into this, man. I don't want to even have to fight this battle with you. Well, this right here is why Ice Spice brought up that line. I'm light skinned, I'm black. I don't, like you can see by my hair, I don't need to come on Twitter and clarify it like Cardi B. That was the diss. And Cardi B was very upset at this, which led to Cardi B calling Ice Spice manager James Roseman when she heard the song. And this is the exchange.
You think I'm that lotto?
She starts off the conversation saying,
Come on, man. You teasing us with the conversation. I want to hear the whole recording, boy. You teasing us with it, man. Play the thing.
I'm not Lotto. You can't play with me. And then she then says here, you think I'm effing P Punani a Lotto? You think I'm scary like Lotto? Now, this is Cardi B having a conversation off camera. Cardi B and Lotto are close. They get along. Lotto chose Cardi B's side over Nicki, which is why Nicki Minaj don't like Lotto. So if Lotto is your friend, I'm sure there's no malice here, but it comes off a way when you're calling her names behind the scenes. But I don't feel like Cardi B was intentionally trying to diss Lotto. I feel like Cardi B was just trying to get her point across. Yo, like Lotto the homie, but Lotto ain't on that. Like she feel like she don't want no wreck, she don't want no smoke. But I'm on that. I'm from the Bronx. That was the intention. But Lotto fans took it a certain way, and we'll get to the reaction from this a little later.
That stupid? Nigga think I'm lotto? You think I'm naked? I'll beat you
He said Lotto again and then says, you think I'm Megan? Brought up Megan Thee Stallion, who's also a really close friend of Cardi B. So now it's kind of like, why is Cardi B... Do Cardi think all her friends are soft now? It could be also be seen as a compliment. But with this leaked, the fan bases of Megan Thee Stallion and Lotto was calling for them to abandon and diss Cardi B. Now, first off, Cardi B, and to me, like, this is one of the things, A, is why Cardi B became famous or as big as she is, and B, has caused a lot of turmoil and chaos in Cardi B's life. Cardi B became a star because Cardi B is the most genuine rap girl, right? Nicki Minaj was queen of rap. Well, she still is for the last decade or so. But Nicki Minaj is Barbie. Nicki Minaj is packaged. Nicki Minaj is I'm the queen. I'm above you. Cardi B is, she like the sister in the trenches who made it. We see a lot of ourselves in Cardi B, which is why Cardi B became the people's champ. Cardi B, when she first popped up, was not really concerned about the things that these other...
First of all, that's bullshit. We don't see ourselves in her because she used to drug dudes and then rob them. This ain't coming from me. This is something that she admitted. All right. So, hey, I don't know exactly how her life was, but the fact that you have to rob somebody to get money from them, that's a little tough to defend is all I'm trying to say.
Other rap girls are concerned about. When Cardi B first popped off, Cardi B was sexy red, bro. Cardi B was like effed up teeth, cursing all the time. Hey, bro, I used to strip, bro. I don't care about being a hoe.
That's true. Her teeth were jacked up, bro. Oh, man. Hey, you ain't ugly, by the way. Anybody out there is watching this, you ain't ugly. You just need money. Once you get money, boom, you're going to start looking like Kim Kardashian.
And she's still that to the heart. But now she a superstar. And she got to kind of learn, you a superstar. You can't be on people's phones doing this because you're a Cardi B. If Drake was on people's phones talking like this, he'll be recorded. It's Drake. You're Cardi B.
Right.
But it didn't stop here, bro. Cardi B continued with the threats.
I'm gonna beat her ass. I'm gonna beat her. Any red carpet, any...
He even said, I don't care who your daddy is, because she knows.
Shut up. She ain't gonna do shit. She too big. She ain't gonna fight nobody. Let's be honest. She don't want to go through the whole lawsuit or being, blasted on social media for fighting somebody. And it ain't gonna happen.
That's Jimmy Henchman son you talking to, man. Like, if you think you about to bring goons from New York to do something to him, bro, the last person who touched him, if you guys don't know the lore, by the way, okay? So like Jimmy Henchman's son, James Roseman, the one who Cardi B is on the phone with, he was walking through New York with a GU Not shirt on, right? G Unit was obviously like the merch that the game and Jimmy Henchman started to diss G Unit. So he's walking through with a G Unit shirt on. One of 50 Cent homies seen him and they checked him, right? And they tussle him, and they tussle him up a little bit. Now they knew that was Jimmy Henchman's son and they did it on purpose. One day later, that person died. They got killed. Okay. Jimmy Henchman got picked up for the murder. Now, he apparently paid two dudes to go ahead and murder this dude, and they actually use a silencer in the 90s, which is like, that's sophisticated. And like, that's crazy. Right? Like where you guys get a silencer from in the 90s, bro? That's crazy. Yeah, so somebody already died playing with James Roseman. You don't want to touch him, okay? Now, this is interesting right here. This screenshot is very interesting. This is a screenshot from Cleo Trapper, Ice Spice's former best friend, who was exposing Ice Spice on Twitter.
Right,
and when she was exposing Ice Spice on Twitter, she actually brought up the Cardi B situation before anyone knew what was going on. Now, Armand Wiggins found this post right here. So shout out to Armand Wiggins, man. Yo, I love Armand. Yo, Armand is one of my favorite content creators in this space, man. The Armand Wiggins show on YouTube, he's amazing. He covers like a bunch of like this particular niche the best. Yeah, he's the best YouTuber, man. So the best friend says, P. Punani, but you was shaking on your bus thinking Cardi B sent people to get you jumped. Whole time it was a lady and her kids just trying to get an autograph. Like, who the F told you to start with that lady anyways? Nobody. You picked with her, now you scared. So apparently Cardi B, like Ice Spice got the warning and the threat from Cardi B, and she was moving on tour terrified and spooked. Cardi B responds to having her Young Thug moment by, and I don't give a F, I'm still in the house. Now, she did like apologize to Lotto, and she says, I was ranting and hot at the moment, but I F with Lotto heavy. I respect everything about her, including her team. That's so sweet. And nope, I'm not too prideful to apologize to somebody I really respect. So this is my public apology, and now I'm gonna privately buy her a bag. Right? So Cardi B officially apologized.
And no longer it's private if you just put it out there saying you're gonna buy her a bag. I don't know what that means, but that might be a slang for something. If not, just let me know in the comment. I don't know what that means. I have no idea.
To Lotto, okay? Now, but the question is, who exactly leaked the audio? Because the
That's what I
recording
want to know.
sounded like it was recorded from Cardi B's end because
Right.
Jim Roseman, his voice was coming through as if it was like staticky. So the recording sounds like it's from Cardi B's end, to be honest.
Right.
But Cardi B will say, but wait, James, because I just know you didn't only record the beginning of that conversation. Go ahead, baby. Post a whole 11-minute convo when Ice Spice said she was in her feelings all because I said sexy deserved the BET award and she had just won some iHeart award and I wasn't even thinking about it. Post it all. Y'all came to bang, right? So Cardi B believes that Ice
So
Spice...
hold on. She ain't even like... She's not going to scold her friend for recording her private conversation? Because if you hear from the beginning, we weren't even supposed to know this whole thing this conversation happened. But yet somebody close to her, who claims to be her friend, went ahead and recorded her private conversation and posted on the internet, all for clicks and like. Dang, it must suck being famous, bro, because you don't even know who to trust. Everybody around you is just, pick me. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel bad. Well, technically not, because this is what comes with fame. You know what I'm saying? This is what comes with fame. The people you surround yourself with, you got to be very, very wary of them, because one little mistake is all it takes for them to take advantage of that and then just plaster you all over the place. Because guess what? They're trying to become famous off of you. And it's a lot easy for them to do that when you're somebody who's big. All you got to do is just pick your nose, and then the next thing you know, TMZ plastered on the internet saying, oh my God, this so-and-so picked their nose in public.
His team recorded the conversation. But that's where, because the audio sounded like it was from Cardi B's end. Unless there was a third party on the phone, which there was a third party on the phone. Because Jane Roseman audio didn't sound pristine, right? And if you're recording from your end, your audio will sound pristine and the other person's audio will sound less stellar than yours. So Cardi B responded back, right? Yeah. So somebody says you can obviously tell the call was recorded from your end, babes. Cardi B says, I was in my bedroom by myself. I just sound more higher because not only was I louder, but it was more echo because it's bigger. Everything louder in there. James Roseman said, I did not record or leak that call. You hear me on speaker with your manager, Tubby, who called me with you on three-way, and you can literally hear that in the clip. The audio didn't come from me. I respect private conversations, and I'm not in the business of leaking anything. Cardi B responded and says, James, be for real and be a man. I was in my bedroom by myself. It was only you, me, and Tubby on the call. So you saying it was Tubby? Well, Cardi, based on how that audio is presented, it was somebody on your end. It was Tubby. Cardi, I think you got backstabbed by Tubby, bruh.
Who's
So
Tubby?
he says your artist put a laughing emoji, then leaked the convo, then posted a trash out clip of her song in less than an hour. This why you been avoiding the CEOs of 10K because you know you did it and you sound like a bitch. And she responded back to James again. So James says, Miss Alamazah, which is Cardi B's name, I see this is part of your rollout. Lies and manipulation included. I won't play tennis back and forth with you. God doesn't like liars. So I'll end it here. I'll put my hand on the Bible. We had nothing to do with this recording, leaking, or even knowing that call was being recorded. Cardi B says, James, be for real. Your artist had nothing to do with the conversation yesterday. She is the one that tweeted that emoji, then dropped that call and previewed a song right after. Not the other way around. Your artist's new song is not charted anywhere. What can you possibly do for my rollout? The gaslighting is insane. Now, she just posted 2 minutes ago dissing Nicki Minaj, but we'll cover this in another video. So what is she referring to when she says Ice Spice?
Hey, she just catching shade. She catching fade with everybody, bruh. Like, come on, you got a battle you're fighting here with Ice Spice and some other person who is calling you, I guess, black, even though you consider yourself light skin or man, I don't know, man. All right, and yeah, you're already picking fight with somebody else. Damn, man, the attention seeking, the clout is just whoo. Honestly, I think it's far stronger than cocaine, bro. Because people will say anything and do anything to, just get a hit, a whiff of that clout, bro. Some people have destroyed their lives over that. Crazy.
Posted an emoji in her rollout. She's referring to posted this emoji right here, which is like the emoji.
Right.
And then Ice Spice posted a new snippet. So
Okay.
Cardi B believes that this was because of Ice Spice's rollout and they leaked this call to kind of get Ice Spice's name back in the headlines. And then Ice Spice put that emoji because Ice Spice knew the call was about to leak.
Ooh.
And this was her way to respond back to the call and the others. Listen, man.
Oh,
I don't know.
man.
Right? Whoever did record that call, listen, I don't know how they was able to make that call look crazy. Maybe the conversation was clear on both ends, and James Roseman and them, they kind of fudged with the audio a little bit. But that's not how recordings work, bro. If you record someone, your voice will come out pristine and clear because you're the one talking into the mic.
Right.
But let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? Do y'all believe that Cardi B leaked this call or did Ice Spice and her team leak the call? Man, let me know, all right? And if you were Lotto and Megan Thee Stallion, are you going to forgive Cardi B? Let me know in the comment section. Also let me know. A 1v1, who do you guys have in the beef?
Yeah, all I got to say is it's hard to tell, to be honest with you, man. It's hard to tell because celebrities nowadays will do anything and everything just to get a little whiff of that clout, And perhaps she went ahead and recorded herself because she didn't act like she was angry or something. Like, well, and when I say angry, I mean like, let's say one of her friends recorded it. The way she was speaking to them, it didn't sound to me like she was speaking to them out of anger. Rather, it was more like, who recorded me? You know what I'm saying? Right? Because if that was me personally and somebody recorded my private conversation and put it on the internet, ooh, everybody in my circle is getting the hell out of, like, hey, that's it. Oh, yeah, I gotta leave. I don't know who did it, but all y'all gotta leave. Anyways, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you guys up later.